Hi, welcome back to bringing yoga into our daily lives through the 8 limbs of yoga. So we've established our yamas and our niyamas, our first and our second limb of yoga. Let's take a moment and ask ourselves, just how good can we feel? Can we feel better and have more vitality and clarity? As we look around, what is the expectation of aging, especially here in America? Is it worth anything to see, feel, and think differently as we age? Can we consider making changes in our life for the better? Let's consider our personal habits and diet choices and activities during the day. Consider our thoughts. Do they support this new exploration of self? Through the Niyamas, we are challenged to explore feeling good, feeling joyful, and making conscious choices to support this exploration of self. Think of it as making better choices. The Niyamas and the yamas point us in the direction of something better than we are now aware of. The 5 niyamas outline the shape of these choices. We built our foundation from the yamas, where we need to learn to live together and share the goods. This is our relationship with the world. We learn to see past our own needs into the collective good. The yamas pull us back from needing so much that is external and point us towards the unique expression of our own life. Here we feel excitement and joy of living. We move to the disciplines of the niyamas, where we move from outside relationships to the relationship with ourselves. We built our foundation of the yamas and turn inward to niyamas: self-purity, contentment, self-discipline, self-study, and surrender. We cleanse our bodies, our minds. We cleanse our speech and our thought. We fall in love with our own life. We consciously choose discipline and growth. We come to knowing of our true self. We pay attention to what life is asking of us. The yamas and the niyamas are an invitation and a guideline for this great exploration of self. So let's come all the way back here to the floor, coming comfortable all the way down. And just remember, once we come down to the ground, you can always have pillows, blankets for the glutes, and allow the knees to be open. If this is very uncomfortable for you, you can widen out the legs and widen out the stance. Let's try to grab a hold of the knees, whether they're crossed or legs are a little more extended, and just rock gently back and forth. And instead of trying to have a curved back, let's have a flat back where we draw the heart forward, we roll the shoulders back, and we hinge forward from the hips. And we just gently rock left and right from one side to the other, feeling the glute bones. Starting to press down. Let's find our center and start to lengthen all the way up through the crown of the head, back and top part of the head lifts up. Let the shoulders relax. And let's start with a breath here today. And let's come into a sound mantra, HU. So it's H-U, but it comes out as he-you in the end. One breath. Let's go ahead and inhale to he-you. Inhale to Hugh. Last one, you. He. into a nice deep breath here. Having the breath coming in and out of the nose. And here, right in the middle of the throat, about where the Adam's apple would be or the glottis, we're squeezing, drawing in a little bit of attention into the throat where we could hear the breath sound very oceanic into our ears as we keep the breathing in and out of the nose. So we hear a noise as we inhale and a slight noise as we exhale. And here we're making an intention either for our practice today or for the rest of the day, or we bring in a positive affirmation for ourselves, whether it's for the mat, for this moment, or for throughout the day. And if our mind can't come up with our own thought, we could always use the words I am. And just allow yourself to be in that present moment as we breathe in and out of the nose. Whichever positive mantra, thought, affirmation that we've brought here, let's go ahead and inhale. Drawing that thought, those words or phrase inward, and exhale. Continuing breathing in this intention. And letting it go. One more time, breathing that intention in. And exhale, letting go. Starting to open the eyes, let's inhale. Draw the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And exhale, let's just release back and down. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. You could have the option to draw the gaze up. Exhale, release, relax the shoulders, draw the chin down into the chest. Inhale, lengthen up, looking up. Exhale, bringing it back down, chin into chest. Inhale, lifting up, looking up. And exhale, bringing it back down. Go ahead and inhale, lengthen, bring the gaze forward. Let's switch the feet. So whichever direction we had our legs folded, if they were, let's switch the direction. Inhale, lengthen through the back, dropping the shoulders. And exhale, let's move it into cat pose. So navel to spine, round through the back, chin into chest, hanging on to those knees. Inhale, let's either sit up or draw forward as we roll the shoulders back, lift through the heart, lift the gaze as we inhale. Exhale again, rounding back into cat, hanging on to the knees. Compressing navel to spine. Inhale. Once again, either sitting up or drawing the heart forward, allowing a little bit more openness into our hips and knees by drawing the heart forward. Same pose for our cow. We still draw the shoulders down and back. We still lift through the gaze out in the heart as we inhale. Another deep breath. And let's exhale and move it into our cat. Let's inhale, lengthen, stack through the vertebrae, bring the arms down. And start to raise them all the way up and over. Reaching through the fingertips, drop the shoulders. Still reaching, lengthening through the arms. Let's inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, bring one hand down, hinge at the elbow, soften and reach over, lateral flexion. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, moving into lateral flexion for the other side. Inhale, lengthen up and over. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now we're going to hinge forward as we exhale. Heart leads, open the arms, hinge at the hips. We may not go very far, that's fine. Roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the neck, through the torso. Find a big expanding breath, and as we exhale, try to allow the heart to sink forward and down. Deep breaths here, Ujjayi breath as we inhale and exhale through the nose. Let's go ahead and start to lengthen back up, sitting. And we're going to release those legs, those knees. We want to come into our staff pose to start off with. So hinge slightly at the knees here. Let's bring those toes right up, hip width distance apart. Make sure that we're grounded into the glutes. Roll the shoulders back, press the palms down into the floor. As we lift through the heart, squeeze the scapula, shoulders back down, press the palms into the floor, fingers point forward, find a gazing point that lengthens through the neck as we tighten the legs, toes towards the nose. We might be squeezing so tight that the heels lift up off the ground. Focus on the breath here, as well as alignment and tension. And let's exhale. We're going to release, point the toes. Let's kind of bend one knee. Draw the sole of the foot down, bring the opposite arm around that leg. Let's inhale, bring the other arm up, stretching. And then let's twist. Exhale, bring that palm down, allowing alignment through the spine. Lengthen the back as we twist and look behind us. Remember to check in with the body once again, making sure this is not painful or just lessen it. Let's go ahead and exhale, releasing forward, extend that leg. Bringing the opposite leg. Inhale, let's lengthen as we settle that foot down, bend the knee. Exhale, wrap that opposite arm around, start to twist. Inhale, bring that other arm up. Nice deep breath. Continue to twist open. Exhale, let's bring that hand behind us. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. And bring the gaze either behind to the side or maybe even forward. Let's check in with the body and make sure that this is not painful. Let's exhale, releasing that. As we release, let's come all the way forward and onto our knees and hands. We're going to move right into our spinal balance. So here we have it. Finding that flat back, either fists for wrists and alignment through the joints, or fists come all the way down, just spreading through the palms, knuckles, and fingertips. Opposite arm to opposite leg. We inhale, lengthen out, stretching forward, stretching back through the heel, keeping hips side by side, finding that balance. Another breath here. And let's exhale, release. Inhale, opposite side. One more breath here in spinal balance. And exhale, release. We're going to move one-to-one breath. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen out. Intention within the breath. Exhale, navel to spine, release. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, releasing. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release. Let's take our glutes all the way back to the heels. Heels releasing, opening the knees. Let's bring it to the forearms. Find shoulder, elbow alignment. Forearms press into the ground. Let's relax the head. And shake the head, yes. And then take the head and shake the head, no. And then let's lengthen through the neck. So now we have that flat back and our neck vertebrae are in line with our back. So we're lengthening, looking down into the mat. And we're going to slowly turn the head over one shoulder while keeping length in the neck, looking over to one shoulder. Let's exhale, move through the center nice and slow, looking down, and then looking over the opposite shoulder. Go ahead and start to release back to center. Let's extend through the arms and release the forehead down. Inhale, lifting that forehead back up. Let's move the knees back under ourselves, underneath the hips. Draw back, extended child's pose. Inhale, let's move forward, partial plank. Extend from knees to crown of head, spread through the palms or making fist for wrist as long as shoulders stack, elbows and wrists are all in alignment. Let's go ahead and move it back. Exhale, navel to spine, forehead comes down. Inhale, moving forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, moving back, extended child's pose. Let's advance in this here. You can either keep it here from extended child's pose into that kneeling plank, or we can tuck the toes, move from plank and into our downward facing dog. Inhale, choosing either one, moving, inhaling forward to our plank or kneeling plank, and exhale back into either downward facing dog or extended child's pose. One more time, inhale forward, and exhale, moving back. Let's inhale forward last time. And whether we're on the knees or in regular plank, tuck the elbows in, move through crocodile as we bring chin first down, then the heart, then the abs. Coming directly into baby cobra, let's roll those shoulders back, squeeze the scapulas, lift the elbows, lift the palms, and draw the heart forward as well as with the gaze forward as we lift the palms, drawing the elbows in. Make sure that we're still breathing here. Let's exhale, press the palms down, lifting into kneeling plank, and exhale, we're moving into our regular child's pose. Nice deep breaths here. We have 2 more breaths. Let's start to reach it out, extend through the hands. We're moving all the way into our downward facing dog. You can walk it out here, having a nice flat back. And when you're ready, settling the heels, softening the knees, let's walk our hands back to our feet. Once we come to the weight into our feet, hands are free. We can draw back behind us, giving ourselves a squeeze, a hug as we draw close into the legs. Then let's release that squeeze, bring the hands in front, knees soft, inhale. Come up to a parallel half back as we roll the shoulders back and the hands are above the soft knees. Take another deep inhale, lengthening through the back, shoulders roll back. And this time as we exhale, let's keep the knees in the same place and hinge back with the glutes for our chair pose. So that means we're hinging at the hips, we're drawing back. We can still see our toes. Toes can be lifting, weight went to our heels. Our knees are not surpassing our toes. And we can either bring hands to heart with that nice flat back, outstretch the arms forward, or hinge at the elbows, palms face us. One more breath in our chair pose. Let's exhale, release. Drawing up, ground through the feet, soft knees. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Let's step 1 foot forward. Anjaneyasana, our high lunge, so lift that heel. As we lift the heel, let's make sure our hips face forward, knee alignment with ankle, toes point forward. Hands at heart, let's inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, let's bring hands to heart and try to bring the heel shifting down and lengthening our front leg for pyramid. Find the balance here. We're just inhaling in pyramid. Let's exhale, rebend the knee, lift the heel up off the ground back into our Anjaneyasana. As we inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, pyramid, hands come to heart. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, forward high lunge, lifting through the arms. Exhale, bring it back, pyramid, finding that balance between this movement. Inhale. And let's exhale, sweep the arms down, hinge forward, step forward. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, hinge at the knees, hinge at the hips, knees aren't surpassing toes. Bring our arms up. And let's take another breath here in our chair. And start to reach it all the way back up. Lifting up and over as we inhale. Hands come back to heart as we exhale. Let's step back the opposite leg. Remember, we're coming into that high lunge. So our hip line apart here, toes all point forward, knee aligns with ankle, hips forward, back heel is lifted. Let's go ahead and find hands at heart for a moment. Then inhale, lengthen arms all the way overhead. Now let's exhale, bring palms together, lengthen the front knee, set the opposite heel down. So we're in pyramid pose, finding balance, hands at heart. And as we inhale, let's come back into our high lunge. Heel off the ground, bend the front knee, arms extend. Exhale, heel comes back down, lengthen front knee, hands come to heart. Inhale, rebend front knee, lift back heel up and off, lengthen arms up. Exhale, coming back into pyramid, heel down. Inhale, back into our high lunge. And let's exhale, release those arms, sweep down, hinge forward, step forward. Let's inhale, lengthen arms up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's come into our half split or to our standing splits. So hands, knuckles on the ground, make sure the weight is into the leg that you have picked. And then you're simply going to take the weight, bring it to that leg, and start to lift off the opposite heel, lifting up and over, and then bring the forehead closer to the knee. Focus on your breath here. Let's exhale, bend that knee, draw it back forward, hip width distance apart. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, press to the heels, tighten the glutes. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Inhale, let's bring it up and over. We're going to switch to the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Release the hands on either side of the opposite leg. Remember, we're going to lift off with the other leg, heel, lifting all the way up and over. Bring the forehead close to the knee, and most of the weight is into the standing leg. And let's exhale, slowly release. Coming back to hip width distance apart. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, press through the heels, tighten the glutes. Reverse swan dive, flat back. Inhale, hinging up and over. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's inhale, lengthen up and over. And exhale, bring the hands all the way down to our sides. Let's step back a leg. And this time coming into a warrior stance. So we're going to bring that heel down. We're going to let the hips open for a moment. Then bring the hips shifting forward like we would for warrior one. We are coming into revolving warrior. So we're going to bring opposite arm forward for our warrior two. So the leg that is bent, that opposite arm moves forward. The other arm moves back. And instead of looking forward, we're going to look behind us. Nice deep breaths in our revolving warrior two. And let's exhale. Hands come down to the hips. Inhale, hips forward, arms up overhead, warrior one. 2 more breaths here. One more breath here. Exhale, open the hips, warrior two. Check in with that front knee. It points forward, still in alignment. Looking over the front fingertips now as the hips have opened up to the opposite side. Two more breaths in warrior two. Exhale, release. Hands on hips, shift hips forward, step it forward. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, inhale, reverse swan dive, flatten the back, tighten through the glutes. Pressing into the heels, exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Step back the opposite leg. Remember, we're coming into a warrior here. So hip width distance apart, front leg, knee, ankle alignment. That back leg is lengthened, toes to a diagonal. And here we start off with our hips face forward. So let's inhale, bring the arms up. And remember, coming into revolving warrior two, we're going to bring opposite arm to the front bent knee, out, forward. And the other one back behind us as we look behind us, revolving warrior two. Let's focus on the breath here as well as balance. Exhale, shift the hips down, or shift the arms down. Hips are still face forward. Inhale, warrior one, same legs. Two more deep breaths here. Warrior two. So remember, we're opening the hips, sending the same arm as that leg forward. Other arm back. Check in with the knee. Knee ankle alignment, toes point forward. Keep the eyes forward for warrior two. Nice deep Ujjayi breath. One more breath here. Let's exhale, release, hips face forward, step it forward, hip width distance apart. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time half back. Soften the knees, exhale, chair. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Let's go ahead and come back to a balancing pose right now. So let's find our hip width distance apart. We're going to open the leg. So just remember, we're going to balance on one, and the other one we're going to keep a bent knee. You don't have to move all the way up that far. So wherever your balance is with you today, checking in with your body. Let's pick whichever leg. I'm going to pick this leg. So we're bringing weight over to that leg. Remember, the knee softens. We're pressing into the floor. The other heel lifts up. We come to the ball of the foot or the toes on that side. Let's find our grounding. Let's find our focal point for our eyes to stare at. Then we can find focus within the breath and within alignment. When you are ready, you can start to bring the knee up. Once the knee is up, you can release one hand, opposite hand to that knee, lifting upward, and the hand that is the same side as that bent knee is coming to the inside of that knee and starting to slowly open out to the side. Finding balance and breath here. Let's exhale, bring that knee back forward. Release, hands coming back to center heart. And then releasing that leg. Let's inhale, bring it all the way up and over. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up into half back, soften those knees. Nice deep breath. Exhale, tighten the glutes and lift all the way up and over. And just bringing the hands back to center heart. So now we're going to shift to the other side. So starting to bring energy, power, rootedness down to the other side. And as we do, lift the other heel. Make sure we find that gazing point. We align our spine, our shoulders are relaxed. We're finding balance right here. You could always stay right here. When you're ready, you can start to lift the knee. Finding balance right there, you can start to open and shift the hand. So same hand to same knee is the one that comes to the inside of that leg. The other arm can extend up and over. And then once you have that, you can start to open up that leg out to the side with the bent knee. Finding balance with breath. And let's exhale. We're going to slowly bring that knee back. And then slowly bring hands back to heart. And then release that leg all the way back down. Let's shift the hips as we start to open the legs. Every time we shift out, we're opening the legs until we have our straddle pose. Heels behind the toes, hands on hips. Take a moment, close the eyes, and ground into the feet. Remember, the knees are slightly soft, toes point forward, but we're finding all the parts of the foot. So the heel in the center point, and then spreading out to the balls of the feet on each side. So right below the pinky toe and below the big toe, pressure points as we press down into our mat. Let's inhale, open the eyes, bring the hands up and over. And exhale, release. Nice deep breaths here. Inhale, hands up and over. And exhale, release. Let's go and bring hands to hips. We're going to keep a nice flat back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Allow yourself to come forward, down. Keep those knees soft, press into the heels. Inhale, flat back, lifting back up. Moving with the breath here. Exhale, forward down, hinge at the hips, nice flat back. Keep those knees soft, press to the soles of the feet. Inhale, lengthen back up with flat back. Last one, exhale, forward down. And inhale, lengthening up. And now we're going to exhale, take head, heart, center, twist, shift, and bring it down. Then inhale, lengthen back up within that alignment, keeping a nice flat back. Come back to center, and we're going to exhale, shift, head, heart, down through the leg. And let's inhale, lengthen back up. We're keeping that nice flat back. Exhale, shifting to the opposite side. Inhale, lengthen back up. Exhale, let's shift to the other side. And maybe you're lucky you get a dog come help you. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, shifting. Trying to find head, heart alignment and right towards the knee. Inhale. And exhale. And let's inhale, shift back up. Exhale, still pressing through the soles of the feet. We're aligned through center. Let's inhale, lengthen arm up and over. Even stretch laterally. The other hand presses into the hip. Let's exhale, bring it back up. Switch the arms. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, switching, taking our time, using the breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last set here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. As we have hands on hips, let's try and heel toe. Back to a wide stance still. We still want a wide stance, but we just don't need it as wide as straddle. We want to check in. So let's find our hinging back glutes. Let's find that nice flat back. We're checking knee alignment with our ankles and checking that the knees point the same direction as our toes. Let's bring our hands to our knees. We're hinging back. We have a nice flat back. Let's inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, sunflower. So remember, it's a nice big circle with the arms. Option to stay sitting up here, hinging right at the hips and knees, and inhale, lengthen up and over. We're going to do another sunflower. I'll show you another option. Exhale as you come down. Option to hinge forward, keep the flat back, swooping closer to the floor, and then inhale, lengthening all the way up and over. Exhale again, hinging back down, big sunflower. Option to hinge forward or stay aligned. Inhale. Last one, exhale. Inhale. And let's go ahead and bring palms together. Exhale to heart. Now when we have lengthened legs, same direction, we still have the toes pointing outward. We're already coming into our 5-pointed star, so let's bring palms forward and just stretch through the fingertips, lift through the heart chakra, heart center right here. We're lifting up, we're shining the gaze forward up, and we're tucking the navel back towards our back, our spine. Nice, deep, full belly breaths here. One more breath. Absorbing it all in, and let's exhale, release the arms, floating back down. Let's start to come back to hip width distance apart. We're going to come back towards the back part of our mat, finding that nice hip width distance apart. Let's inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's move into our monkey pose, gazing forward, shine the heart forward, gazing forward. Exhale, let's release those hands, soften those knees. We're gonna come into our downward facing dog. So here we are in our downward facing dog. Let's hinge at the knees, moving back and forth. Pressing those heels down, let's inhale, lengthen forward. Coming to our nice plank pose, and exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale, bend one knee, try and drop to the chest. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, opposite knee towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen out to plank. Exhale, let's bring it to the knees. Inhale, keep the kneeling plank here. Start to tuck those elbows in. Moving through crocodile, nice flat back as we release down to our mat. As we release down, choosing between baby cobra or regular cobra, either one, we roll the shoulders back down. We lengthen through the neck and bring the gaze forward. Nice deep breaths here. And let's exhale, release down. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, let's move it back into a child's pose of your choice. Let's come back to the breath as we relax forward down. And you're okay to move side to side to try and loosen and relax the body just a little bit more. Nice deep breaths here. Let's go ahead and start to make our way back forward. So for some of us, that will be kneeling plank. For some of us, it'll be regular plank. Let's move back through crocodile. As we hinge forward and back down, let's bring it into Sphinx pose. Elbow, shoulder, elbow alignment, forearms down, fingertips forward, pressing down into the ground, lengthen through the neck, bring the gaze forward. Draw the shoulders back and down. Now let's exhale. We're going to release from our Sphinx pose, and as we do, let's stack palms down and forehead on top. Take another deep breath. We're going to lift the head and take one arm and extend, palm faces down, T-pose, down. Take the other arm, we're going to use it as kickstand, palm down, elbow up. Start to look that direction, release the head, and then start to bend the knee. Let's press into the knee as we start to stack the hips. As we stack the hips, we might bring one foot down, one knee up. We might have that in front of the leg, helping us stack, also the hand, or we can have it behind the leg. Some of us are flexible enough that we'll be able to bend the opposite knee and have our hips shift and allow the back to come down. Some of us are not that flexible. Wherever you are at is the best place you can be. You're stretching through that arm. This should not be painful. If it's painful, then come more out of it so you're not that far in. Let's go ahead and release that foot to leg back over to the front side if we had it behind us. Releasing down. As we release, let's find hip, knee alignment. Toes point that same direction and find knee ankle alignment there. Bring that kickstand hand down. Come back to where we're facing here. Bring hands, palms face down. And you can bring the chin down here as we come into our half frog now. So the half frog, we have the bent knee, the pelvis, our chest, everything facing forward, including the chin or the forehead. And now we're going to lift back up. Let's release that partial frog over there. And now we're going to use the opposite arm hand. So extend through the opposite arm and hand. Palm faces down. Remember, this is a kickstand. Legs are right where you're at. You're going to bend that same side with the kickstand knee. And then look to that side. You can rest the head. You can start to bring the hips stacked on top. You can bring the foot behind you or in front of you. You can have a kickstand. Some of us are not this flexible, so some of us might be closer to the ground. Make sure there's no pain. You can draw it back. You can even bend this knee and start to lift. Some of us can come and bring the hips all the way down and the glutes back and down, depending on how flexible you are. Make sure that you do not feel pain with this. And just come into the breathing. Now it should be somewhat tense. So you are somewhat uncomfortable, but never painful. There's a difference between comfortable or uncomfortable and painful. So nice deep breaths here. One more breath here. And let's exhale. If you have the leg behind you, time to bring the leg in front of you. So once you get there, you're starting to shift this knee down to the floor now. Allow the toes to point the same direction as the knee ankle alignment, knee hip alignment. Allow yourself now to press down, forward, down. Soften both elbows, palms stack. Bring yourself forward and down into the mat, including this leg here. Toes pointing that side for frog. And release the forehead or chin down into your hands. Focusing on our Ujjayi breath again. So starting to tighten the glottis of the part of the neck, the middle part. And as we tighten, we're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. starting to relax here. Let's start to release our frog pose. Extend through the legs. We want to come back into our kneeling plank. So let's gently bring the hands back underneath our shoulders here. Find our alignment. Tuck in those abs. Let's exhale. Press through the palms of the hands. Keep that nice flat back. And then once we start to drop, we're going to come all the way back into a child's pose of our choice. Let's take a few moments to breathe here. And let's start to make our way back up. We're coming forward towards the front part of the mat. Let's go ahead and soften through the knees. We want to make sure that we come back comfortable. So make sure you have your knees soft, or maybe one leg will be extended while you grab a hold of the other knee. As long as we're rounding the back, using our abs, tucking in, and just slowly allowing ourselves to come all the way back, inviting us all the way back down into the mat. As we keep the head raised, we're drawing knees to chest, and then gently just rock side to side here. Come back to center. We're going to release down into the mat. Let's go ahead and start to extend the legs up the wall. So right now my knees might be soft. I'm going to grab a hold of behind my legs. I have hip width distance apart. My knees are soft. My toes are starting to point towards my nose, hanging onto my legs, but I'm trying to flatten my back into the floor. I'm starting to breathe here in my abs and exhale, pressing the navel down into the spine and the spine pushing down into the floor. And then eventually here, I'm going to start to lengthen through my knees, lengthening all the way out, tightening those abs well enough that I can bring the palms face down. Nice deep breaths here, some good ab work as we have those low abs contracted, lengthening through the heels, toes towards the nose. Let's focus on the breath here. Nice deep breaths. Let's exhale, slowly bend those knees, release. We do want to come into our modified bridge, so heels to glutes, pressing down. Let's slowly this time, instead of quickly lifting, let's lift up vertebrae by vertebrae. So we curl the tailbone, pelvis. I'm lifting now from the back, taking my time, working through each and every vertebrae as I lift the hips, keeping these hip width distance apart, palms grounded as best I can. And as I lift and come to the shoulders, I start to walk the shoulders in towards each other, lifting through the heart and sending my shoulders back and down towards the mat. As I lift the pelvis, I'm coming into a nice deep breath here, expanding through the rib cage. And as we exhale, we tuck in towards the navel, towards our midsection. One more breath. Keep the abs tucked in. Let's slowly try to release one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the mat. Taking our time. Nice deep breath. Let's take one knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Draw it in. Keep the back flat and the head on the ground. Release that leg. Nice deep inhale. As we exhale, opposite knee. Bring it in towards the chest. Inhale, release that leg. Exhale, opposite knee. Now this time, let's round through the foot. The opposite direction, taking another breath. And let's exhale, release that leg. 2 breaths through the other leg. Take a deep inhale, then exhale, knee to chest. Let's rotate through the foot. On that next breath, we rotate opposite direction. And let's exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, knees to chest, curl the head up and off the floor, giving yourself a hug and shifting side to side. We're getting ready for Shavasana here. So if you need pen, paper, pillows, blankets, anything to keep you coming back to our meditation time, let's make sure we are comfortable, that we are relaxed, secure, and safe. Starting with the breath, and then maybe rotating the palms face upward. If you're not ready to be this open and free here, you can always do the palms face down, especially along the body where you feel like you might need some extra stability or healing. When the low back is ready to let go or release, you can start to extend through the legs. Any low back issues, you might want to keep the knees bent and put pillows underneath the knees to support the low back. Allow the feet to be open, the legs to be open. Let's start to shut the eyes and come into the breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And as we do, let's move back into our Ujjayi breath. So remember, this is tightening of the neck, the glottis here. As we tighten, we cause a noise of a little bit of restriction or tension in the throat that as we inhale, it's like fogging the mirror. And as we exhale, fogging the mirror. Noticing that breath, keeping it up. As we relax the breath, we pay attention to our Ujjayi breath that we're creating with our inhales and our exhales, feeling a little bit of an ocean here, a rhythm to the breath as it moves in and out. So as we start at the feet, we inhale that breath, that wave of relaxation through the soles of the feet, through the ankles, the lower legs. On our exhales, we relax the lower legs, the feet, the toes, the ankles. As we take another deep breath, we move all the way through the knees, through the thighs, the legs. Each time we exhale, we let go, we relax. We release just a little bit more tension and letting go just a little more of that stress. Till our body begins to relax as we move all the way up into the hips, the pelvis, the glutes. Feeling the ocean waves taking away all the tension, all the stress. Relaxing as we sink deeper into the sand with each and every wave. The wave swells all the way up now through the back. And exhales, the rhythm releases all the way through the toes. Each breath we swell a little more, all the way up through the rib cage and the chest. And we exhale deeper into the earth, relaxing more. So we allow that expansion, that wave, to move all the way through the shoulders, the arms, the fingers. As we release and let go. Feeling the rhythm as we expand into the neck, the head, the face. And we let go. We move now from toes all the way to the crown this rhythm, this ocean wave swell and release. Feeling the ebb and flow of our life, our breath, and maybe even noticing where we're having retention. Allowing that now to flow and relax as we move into the ebbs and flows of our breath, becoming a part of our breath. As we sink deep into the earth, surrounded by sand, we feel Mother Earth give us a big hug, giving us that foundation, the security that we need. Continuing to be your breath. Each moment inhaling and exhaling. Until we start to come back to the surface of the earth. And back to the ebb and flow of the water, our breath. Noticing the breath. Starting to bring awareness back to the body. Taking a moment to feel centered within the breath, within the body, feeling connected. And as we feel connected, centered, grounded, balanced, let's bring back to mind our personal mantra, our positive affirmation, or our centered intention that we started off with. Just bringing that back through the mind with each and every breath. As we allow the breath to start awakening us and bringing movement back to the body, we begin to allow the knees to bend and maybe our eyes start to open, and we allow ourselves to move to our left side if we can. If this is uncomfortable, you can always move to your right side. And then if you want to, you can draw a knee into the chest, or you can give yourself a hug. Just giving yourself that time to come back up. Remember, as we come away from the earth, we take our arm and hand strength and we press away from the earth so we don't hurt our back as we come back up. Thank you for joining me today as we have finished our yamas and our niyamas, and we'll be moving on to asanas, which is the third limb, and that will be our body postures. Asana is simply the physical practice of yoga. So until next time, have a wonderful day. Keep your personal mantra, intention, or positive affirmation. You can always repeat it throughout the day in the mind as you remember with the breath. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.